I'm Luke Summerhays, and I love Buneary. If you're listening to this the day of release, we are only 4 days away from the new year. 2023 will be the year of the rabbit, so it seems appropriate to talk about Buneary, the first clear and obvious rabbit Pokemon. One could argue that Nidoran, all the way back in the first generation, was a rabbit, but it also evolved into a big kaiju thing, and it had poison barbs, and was a bit of a weird one overall. Then the second generation had Azumarill, a water type which evolved from the mouse-like Marill, but had very rabbity ears. But when it comes down to it, Buneary is the first obvious rabbit. Buneary is most definitely a rabbit, and a nice, simple, normal type at that. It stands on 2 legs, which rabbits can do, but walks a little more bipedally than most real rabbits are wont to do. Still, the big rabbit ears are there, as is the fluffy cotton bud tail. In Buneary's case, this fluffiness is exaggerated, with the whole lower body and the tips of both ears being round and cloud-like. Pokemon Pearl tells us, when it senses danger, it perks up its ears. On cold nights, it sleeps with its head tucked into its fur. The name, Buneary, of course combines bunny, a childish term for a rabbit, with ear, a prominent feature of rabbits. The Japanese name is Mimi-roll, Mimi being the Japanese for ear, and one of those ears being, if you look closely, rolled up. Pokemon Diamond explains, it slams foes by sharply uncoiling its rolled ears. It stings enough to make a grown-up cry in pain. And Platinum tells us, its ears are always rolled up. They can be forcefully extended to shatter even a large boulder. And Pokemon Pokedex entries hate boulders even more than Chris Redfield does. But Professor Laventon has his own slightly different theory. He suggests in Pokemon Legends Arceus, my hypothesis as to why Buneary rolls up its ears is that its hearing is far too keen. I surmise that the Pokemon protects its hearing by limiting the sound that may enter its ears. Welcome back to Does Andy Remember Gen 4 Pokemon?
And if so, does he have any thoughts about them?
Buneary.
Oh, I know Buneary. Buneary is it's a rabbit, isn't it? But yeah, I got a bit freaked out by the cotton in the ears, and I'm thinking like cottony or something. That's a different thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, because it evolves into the big rabbit with the downward pointing ears.
Lopunny.
Yes, there we go. And I feel that I've experienced some Buneary in another game. Maybe it was one of the mystery dungeons or something. I definitely remember Buneary quite well from a more obscure source.
Whether it's preparing to attack or hiding from noise, Buneary's curled up ears are a sign that the Pokemon is distressed. Be patient though and build up friendship, and Buneary will become comfortable enough to let its hair down around you, eventually evolving into Lopunny. Lopunny is a taller, even more humanoid rabbit. With distinctively curved hips, it brings to mind a curvaceous female form, though Lopunny and Buneary have even 50-50 ratios of male and female specimens, and subsequently, the bunny suit. A revealing outfit originally created for Hugh Hefner's Playboy Club, the bunny suit has become a bit of a shorthand for a sexy outfit, in media and in real life. It's a particularly popular outfit for female animated characters to find themselves drawn in, particularly in Japanese anime. It therefore feels a little uncomfortable for an inclusion in a children's game like Pokemon, though it is at least only implied in Lopunny's basic form. Pokemon Pearl tells us, it is very conscious of its looks, and never fails to groom its ears. It runs with sprightly jumps. The name Lopunny combines bunny, this time with lop. Lop-eared rabbits are the kind whose ears hang down rather than standing up, and the Japanese name, similarly, is Mimilop. Although Lopunny's design is definitely made with cuteness in mind, some Pokédex entries still suggest it can take care of itself. Ultra Moon says, "It's notably wary and has a dislike of fighting, but at the same time, it can deliver powerful kicks with its lithe legs." And Pokemon Sword says, "Lopunny is constantly monitoring its surroundings. If danger approaches, this Pokemon responds with super destructive kicks." And Legends Arceus tells us, "Its fur is warm and yet remarkably light. This Pokemon kicks as though it were a master of karate, driving back its opponents with ease." Unfortunately, this was not always reflected in games, as Lopunny's stats are hardly competitive. This was changed somewhat in the 6th generation games, and the introduction of Mega Lopunny. Mega Lopunny is considerably stronger. Pokemon Ultra Sun tells us, "It swings its ears like whips, and strikes its enemies with them. It has an intensely combative disposition." And Ultra Moon told us, "Mega Evolution awakens its combative instincts. It has shed any fur that got in the way of its attacks." And yes, it has shed a lot of fur. Mega Lopunny also exaggerates the visual design. Fur is tactically placed to resemble a bow, to make the ears look like braided hair, or to give the Pokemon little booties. The legs are even more slender, with a pattern which resembles ripped tights. Buneary has a particular combination of cuteness that hides an inner strength, which I usually like in, say, a fighting game character. It isn't overtly sexual and it has a number of fans, but it is awkwardly close to a Playboy bunny. And while there are plenty of young women who find that brand and outfit empowering, there are plenty more who find it, and particularly its prevalence, demeaning. I'm not here to tell you to like or dislike Lopunny, and I'm certainly not here, as a dude, to make any final call on whether it's appropriate or not. I'm just here to say, no media exists in a vacuum, and this Pokemon's designers definitely knew what they were doing. Music for Luke Loves Pokemon is by Jonathan Cromie. Artwork for the show is by Katie Groves. Writing, producing, and editing is all by me, Luke Summerhays, and funding is provided by lovely listeners at patreon.com/podcastio-podcastius. I love it when you guys get in touch. Hit me up on Twitter or Facebook at LukeLovesPKMN to let me know your thoughts about our next monsters, Glameow and Stunky, or share your love for any Pokemon, or just to say hi. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are with us, so on Sundays we have bonus episodes about the Pokemon of the Paldea region. Also, join me Friday and Saturday nights from 8 PM UK time at twitch.tv/LukeLovesPKMN for my streams. And even if you don't feel like doing any of that, thank you so much just for listening. I love Buneary, and remember, I love you too.